Hello, I'm IceColdFreezie. Welcome to my complete world model compiling tutorial for Team Fortress 2. This is like 99% the exact same as the view model tutorial, but there's a few things that are different, and I'm going to explain everything again, just in case you didn't watch the first one. So, make a new folder on your desktop, call it World Wrench, and inside of it, make 3 folders. One called textures, one called input, and one called output. Open up 3ds Max. And I'm going to turn on snaps and just make a generic cylinder right in the middle. Set your radius and height to the same as you did in the previous tutorial. If you're just starting out, put your radius at 70 and your height at, or your radius at 2 and your height at 70. You're going to scale it all later, so when you're making your model, don't worry about how big it is. So right click it, convert it to an editable poly, and in your modifier list, go down and select unwrap UVW. Expand that and click face. Now you're going to Control A to select your entire cylinder. Click Edit, and this is obviously a cylinder, so we're going to click the cylindrical button and try the different types of aligns to see which one looks best. Align Z is best for us, so you can close that. Go over to your Utilities tab, More, and down to Textporter. Open that up. Source pictures can only work in powers of 2, so we're going to change this to 512 by 512. Click Pick Object and your cylinder. So now we have a generic skin. We're just going to save this in the textures folder as wrench and make it a bitmap. Now you can press M to open up your materials editor. Click the box next to diffuse, bitmap, and locate the bitmap that you just made. And open it up. Click these 2 boxes here and here to save it and then show it in this perspective window. So you can see it completely covers up your model. So we can save this project as wrench, go to File, export it, call it wrench, but make the file type an SMD. Check only the first thing, ignore everything else, click OK, OK again, and you're done with 3ds Max. So now you can open up GCFscape and your input folder. In GCFscape, open Team Fortress 2 content. Go to Files, Models, Weapons, WModels, and scroll all the way down. And select all 6 of the models that start with WWrench, and just move them over to your input folder. You can open up the .mdl in Notepad++ and change the IDST0 to IDST, comma. Save it and close it. Now go to your source SDK folder. This should be source SDK /bin/f1/bin, and this is where you should have put your MDL decompiler, because this is the only place it'll work, I think. So open it up. In the first box, locate the MDL that you made, and in the second box, locate the output folder. And uncheck everything here. Click extract. If this box doesn't show up, the completed dumping model, just click extract a few more times, until it does. Sometimes you have to do it some more than once. So we're done with that. Now if you go into output, you see we have a bunch of files. Not as many as last time though. Now you can open up Milkshake. I cannot say that name. Milkshake. Let's go File, Import, Half-Life SMD, and choose your... In your output folder, go to W-wrench reference. Check all three things and click OK. And go to File, Import, Half-Life SMD, and choose the wrench that you made in 3ds Max. And you can see in this one, the only thing here is a wrench, there are no hands. But the process is still the same. So go to Groups, double-click Wrench. That'll select it. Go back to Model, and scale it by 0.9 a few times. And you're going to try and move it as close as possible to the wrench. And how you put it here will depend, or will determine, how it looks in-game. So try and get this as good as possible. Like if you put it too high, it will be clipping into your hand. So once you position it nicely, this one's really good. You can deselect everything. Go into Groups, double click your wrench again, go to Joints. The only thing here is weapon bone, so click Assign. Now go back to Groups, and you can delete the wrench that was already there, so Models, Weapons, W-wrench. And you can delete its material also. So now when you click Select Assign on weapon bone, it will only select your cylinder. So we can save this as wrench, file, export, Half-Life SMD, go into your output folder and overwrite W-wrench reference. Yes, you want to replace it, and save it as a reference. So close that. Open up Photoshop, or whatever you use to make pictures. I think anything will work. And open your texture from earlier. And now if you're going to skin it, here's where you would do your stuff. This would look almost exactly the same as your viewmodel skin. Remember, I put some red dots on it. It's actually pretty ugly. I'll just leave it as it is. So you're going to go to File, Save, close Photoshop when you're done,